Hey guys, what's going on? Back again with another video. A few days ago on August 15th, Treyarch tweeted out that there was a new zombies map coming to Vanguard, and the name of it's going to be the Arshan, and it says Cortifex must die, and it says Vanguard Zombies concludes in Season 5 with the Arshan. I didn't talk about it anytime this week yet since it got tweeted out by Treyarch, because to be honest with you, I thought maybe there would have been a trailer or more info since that, so I decided now, a couple days later, to talk about it. And on the other hand, too, I like seeing what people on Twitter and Reddit and YouTube have to say about it. Uh, Trying to see like people's reactions and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool to kind of see some ideas that people have. There's actually not much to go by, going by the logo. If you look at it, this is the logo up close. It looks pretty cool. I'm just going to give you my initial thoughts on it. I know it's supposed to be set in Egypt. That looked like, honestly, like a radio tower, um, or the Eiffel Tower itself, and it says the Arshan. I always wondered why they didn't do like maybe a small little Origins France, World War I style or World War II trench style map. That would be kind of cool if for some reason we end up going or starting maybe at France and then we go to Egypt, or start at Egypt and go to France. That was my initial thought. And this is just ideas. I'm not trying to say, oh, it's a solved, I figured it out. I definitely know what's coming. This is just initial thoughts because, like I said, I didn't even think about it up until this point right now at 9:30 p.m. on August 17th. I looked at it. I thought it looked pretty cool. And then I'm like, I'll just wait tomorrow for the trailer to drop or some more info to drop, or Treyarch to tweet out some stuff. But again, unfortunately, they haven't done that, which is kind of good too, because uh, as much as I like solving stuff and as much stuff as I have solved in the last couple of years, it's still nice to be surprised, because the Arshan is nothing I think I would have even guessed would have been a title. But then again, all the map titles for Vanguard have been kind of like, just to be honest with you, out of left field. Except for the Shinonuma stuff, everybody kind of knew that was going to come. But it's good to see something different. Again, before I move on, my initial other thought that I had is it reminded me of the cracks in Transit. I was thinking how cool that would be to get like a Transit reimagined in Egypt. I don't know if it would exactly tie into the original Transit in USA, but what a good way it would be to end Vanguard, and almost in a way stick it to the toxic zombie YouTubers that just crapped all over the game and the zombies mode and stuff like that. It would be really cool if they did a Transit or some type of Transit reimagining in Vanguard, and it would make sense because that looks like one of the radio towers that you would have to power, or the pylon that we have to power in Transit. The rocks and the lava, and the lava coming through the cracks. However, it's probably just a random, and they said it's an original map, or I've heard people saying it's an original map. So, or it could just take inspiration from Transit with the lava and the cracks, something inspired, or inspiration, or kind of like, I think what people call like the heart and soul of like Transit, or I guess, like, again, like I said, the reimagining in a sorts. That was just an initial thought, but realistically, besides being a fan and having high hopes, it's probably just going to be the Dark Ether reimagining, or another part of the Dark Ether that we got in Vanguard, because it honestly looks at like the Dark Ether um, that we had for Terra Maledicta when you got transported there. Honestly, they're probably just going to try and save some money and time and just give us like a Dark Ether um, map. But then it's supposed to be original, so that kind of throws another wrench into things, like I said. So that was pretty cool. So again, aside from all that, my third option, or idea, or what I was doing for the last couple of days, I thought for sure Egypt. It would have been a library of Alexandria, because that is the only other thing in Egypt that would tie into the story perfectly. So I started looking again at the structure or the logo, trying to see if it looks like any structure in Alexandria or what people think was the Library of Alexandria, because it, as you guys know, got burnt down and destroyed. But I figured if it was that, they probably would have maybe showed some flames or fire in the logo, maybe burning, I thought, or maybe they just want to kind of keep it as a surprise. But again, like I said, I looked at some of these to try and see if any of it looks like it. I thought maybe this at first, this structure could have been like maybe a structure from Alexandria, but I don't think it has anything like that. So again, I was just getting ideas to see if there's anything that looked remotely like the Archon logo, any other structure. I mean, like this, but it would have looked, the logo would have looked a little bit different. This is from Reddit, it looks like. So I was just looking at different ideas, and this is pretty much how I solve stuff. Just kind of take my time, cross-reference some words. But I know if you Google Archon, it has to do with Greek and like UFOs, I think, and invasions, which is really cool. So again, like I said, it's nice to solve stuff. It's nice to figure stuff out. But it's even nicer, and I've said this to some of the devs, it's even nicer to be totally surprised. Like when you think you have it solved, kind of like a movie, murder mystery or a movie, like, oh, I know exactly who did it, and then something out of left field surprises you, and then that ends up being, the answer or solve or whatever. So this is the only other thing. I thought maybe we would see some type of cameo or would hint towards the Library of Alexandria. But then again, if you look at some of the logos that we've gotten from Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, and even Cold War, I don't think some of the logos even give you an idea of what the map's all about. You can't put everything in a logo. But I thought this would be definitely something we would see in Egypt, a new map. I don't know if there's anything in the campaign that they can use, any assets. But again, this was just some stuff that I saw. Because that's the only other thing that would fit perfectly. We're in Egypt. It has to do with the Chaos story. It has to do with the Dark Ether. But then again, like I've been saying it more and more recently, like I don't work for Treyarch or Call of Duty, but sometimes I wish I did in a way, because then I can kind of like, oh, this would be a great idea, and give it to them and see what they think about it, and then kind of run with it, or maybe just have some ideas to see what they would do with it. But on the other hand, like I said, it's really nice to be surprised. I'm like, oh, I never saw that coming. Oh, that's a great Easter egg, or that's a great map, stuff like that. So anyways, I'm going to leave it at that. I'll see you guys later.